shape the counter-insurgency. Tukur Buratai was the longest-serving Chief of Army Staff in Nigerian history, serving for 5 years and 6 months. That's our big hard fact for today. Tukur Buratai was the longest-serving Chief of Army Staff in Nigerian history, serving for 5 years and 6 months. That record goes all the way back to before independence, to back when the job was called General Officer Commanding in 1956. The last army chief to last up to 5 years was Sani Abacha under Ibrahim Babangida. But now Buratai and his colleagues are gone. We now have 4 new men at the top of the armed forces. And today let's talk about the work that they're going to have to do, what it takes to do it, what their track record says about their ability to do it. So we have Murtala Abdullahi on the show. He is a security analyst as well as a journalist. Thank you for joining us on Hard Facts.
Thank you for having us, Sandra.
Now, there have been some questions about the legality of the service chief's appointment, Abdullahi. The Constitution says that the appointment is subject to confirmation by the Senate. And we know the President wrote to the National Assembly on the 27th of January, but as of this moment, they've not yet confirmed the new service chiefs. Are they serving legally?
Well, I think this is a huge constitutional matter that would likely or should likely end up in the court for interpretation, similar to what happened that got under the previous administration or early towards his administration when the former service chiefs had to go through Senate confirmation. This was not a tradition. However, this was enforced following a court interpretation that shows that service chiefs were required to go through the Senate screening process and confirmation. And so now we have service chiefs that have already taken over office without Senate confirmation. This is a serious legal issue that needs to be managed. Because I feel like one of the major issues we had was the government did not get the required advisory that it needed from both its legal advisors, the Attorney General and other legal advisors within the presidency, particularly also the liaisons within the National Assembly, because these individuals should have notified the president that the Senate is required to confirm your service chiefs before they take over. And so what should have happened was that before the service chiefs would have been asked to resign, the names of the new chiefs should have been sent to the Senate, and then the Senate is recalled from recess. And considering the fact that the Senate is occupied, or the National Assembly itself is occupied largely by members of the ruling party, it should not have been a matter or something difficult to do.
I see. So in a situation where the old service chiefs have resigned or been dismissed and new service chiefs have not been confirmed by the National Assembly, what's the normal protocol for choosing acting service chiefs?
So what we know is that the outgoing service chiefs will have recommended successors to the CNC, and then himself, he will have done a lot of verification, trying to get the other services like the DSS and who to find out more about the service chiefs, which of the selected nominees can actually meet up with his objectives and ideas for the armed forces, and then he will make his selections based on these recommendations. And then sometimes he can go outside the nominees that were sent over by the outgoing chiefs. And so for us, really now, it's an interesting time which I feel like we need lawyers, constitutional lawyers, to really contest, because there's a lot of questions around the legality of whatever actions they take between now and the confirmation. This will affect everything from appointment or new appointment of making, or actions that will be taken. So it's something that needs to be ironed out, but this should have been avoidable. This was an avoidable situation, really.
I see. Now, Lagos, if you just joined us, you're listening to Hard Facts on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I have a journalist who's also a security analyst on the show with me today. His name is Abdullahi Murtala, and we're talking about these new service chiefs. Before we talk about the new men themselves, Abdullahi, let's talk about the job. Lots of Nigerians have been calling for a change in service chiefs, but they almost make it sound like a magic bullet that can solve all our counterinsurgency problems. And obviously, it can't be, right? The example I always give is the coach of a football team. If the coach is simply not the reason, the coach isn't the only reason that the team isn't winning. So when it comes to service chiefs, what role do they play in the counterinsurgency? What aspects of the counterinsurgency is dependent on their performance?
So there are a lot of legitimate concerns behind the call for the removal of the service chiefs, especially with the spike in insecurity across the country and the unprecedented nature of their tenure. They are probably one of the longest serving service chiefs in the history of this country. However, really our approach and understanding of national security and human security is flawed because we tend to put more emphasis on the military. The military should not really be the solutions to our security crisis, and they cannot be the solutions to our security crisis, and that's why we are still having conflicts getting worse because we are applying the wrong tools to solve these situations. And so, generally the call was important because within the military there was a need to rigid the system, having chiefs stay for this long-hearted structure of the military. We can even see that some of the service chiefs that were appointed were already heading towards retirement because they are seniors. You had members of the 29 RC, members of the 26 RC. These are really fast seniors taking over who are still there in the realm of affairs and having lots of their juniors going out while they were still holding the office for over 5 years. And so there was a lot of issues within the system, and also the insecurity across the country was part of the reasons why there was a call for the services to go. However, really, it's not a silver bullet that will solve our security crisis because it goes beyond military approach.
Yeah, but what aspects of the counterinsurgency is dependent on their performance?
So, the military, by design, they play a huge role in counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency operation. And in fact, the reason why it's called a counter-terrorism, counter-insurgency operation is because it involves multiple players. It's a multi-sectoral approach. You have the military, you have the intelligence services, you have the development part. And so really, in terms of comforting Boko Haram, you have the army, the air force, and the Navy, the staff playing a huge role in tackling the crisis. And so believe that the former service chiefs did not do well. There were a lot of retooling and the revamping of the military that is required. And so the hope and optimism is that the new service chiefs will change the strategy in terms of the counterinsurgency strategy, improve the welfare, the battlefield conditions, the equipment, necessary support system the soldiers on ground need to degrade and stabilize the environment enough for law enforcement and developmental efforts.
You said that we need a more holistic approach to national security that goes beyond the military. In your opinion, what are the other pillars of national security?
So at the core of the security threats we have across this country are actually inequality, social injustice, poverty, deteriorating economy. And when you see the fact that we have despite the fact in diversity in terms of the security across the country, the Northeast, you have insurgency, the Boko Haram and ISIL insurgency, which is heavily in areas that are rural. These are areas that have been neglected. Although the conflict started from an urban environment and got pushed out into the rural areas, into communities that have always been neglected by the Nigerian state, and so which created another problem by itself. In the Northwest, you also have an intense rural conflict, violence that also been spilling over into urban areas. In the North Central, also you have this kind of headed summons violence and other forms of militia conflict. In the Southeast, you have the IPOP crisis that is growing, that is exacerbating despite the use of military and other techniques. And the South also in the East, you have the Niger Delta militancy, the rising piracy. In areas like in the Southwest, you also have areas around the closer to the creek, so you have militancy and the military operations. But when you come to the urban areas, you have spike in armed robbery, lots of other violent crimes in urban areas, either in Lagos, gang violence, in Port Harcourt, you have gang violence, in southeast urban areas, you have conflicts in parts of northern Nigeria, you have also violent crimes like armed robbery, gang violence. And so we have urban and rural crimes that are products of our rising poverty, unemployment. We always see the ideal one is the devil's workshop, but we actually do not use that code to shape our policy, thus ensuring that we drive our young people towards productivity, giving them hope and possibility in life, giving them the education they need. Part of our problem is that we have a huge education deficit, and again, we have under-education. People are receiving education that do not give them the skills they need in the contemporary society.
You said one of the things that the service chiefs are ultimately responsible for changing the strategy of the counterinsurgency. I'm curious what your opinion on what aspects of the current strategy needs to change is.
So whatever it is they will also do likely depend on the support they get from the commander-in-chief. Due to the nature of how Nigeria works, a lot of the body language and other kind of support will come from the president, which will shape. So one of the major calls is for the reform of the counterinsurgency approach. Instead of having separate services working in a manner that is assumed to be under the same umbrella, we should have a joint theater command where all the services are part of the management team of the counterinsurgency operation. What it means is that you have the Army, the Air Force, Navy, then the other intelligence agencies in one HQ, making decisions, planning together, and then so also in terms of bases, military bases, either the super camps or forward operating bases, having all the joint services and the domestic intelligence services all together, which means that all these agencies are able to be part of the planning, part of the decision making, and part of the implementation. So it helps to improve cohesion and synergy. And secondly, it also helps to also get the civilian component on board, which means that if we are moving into a locality to clear and stabilize the environment, the civilian component knows that our job is to immediately move in and provide some form of law enforcement, and also the developmental efforts are required. Because no matter how the kind of military operations we do, if we do not fix these key issues around social justice, around addressing poverty and so many other things, addressing extremism, because as part of despite the social and economic and environmental factors, there's also the factors of extremist ideology. It's multi-dimensional that is required. The military can play its role, but no matter the investment and the improvement in the military, if we do not fix the other component, then there will really not be sustainable peace.
What do you think about the use of super camps by the military? Some say that this has allowed the insurgents to regain control of the countryside. What do you think?
So the super camp really has been a problematic policy. However, it was done because the military really had no option but to adopt the super camp. Within 2018 to 2019, there was a lot of raid and overrunning of military bases, smaller military bases, what they call forward operating bases in northern Borno. And so this really got the military to say, okay, if we cannot protect our smaller bases, let's strengthen our bases with a super camp, which means you have strength in numbers. But it still does not address the fundamental issues around the kind of bases we're building, what kind of bases are we building, what kind of base defense and base protection capacity are provided to the troops. And so if you can have smaller forward operating bases, if they are properly built with the right housing mechanism, the right support system, the right base defense infrastructure, then they can protect themselves. But once you have these bases, even super camps, without this necessary support system, then they are still vulnerable. If you see in Afghanistan, in Iraq, how the Americans have been able to really build bases that have been able to stand against waves of attacks, even in areas where you have the French Operation Barkhane operating in areas of Sahel, there's been almost very little in terms of attacks and overrunning of French bases. This is because these bases are built properly and And no matter what, even if they are close to the enemy, it'll be difficult to overrun. And so really, like I mentioned earlier, there's a need to revamp and retool the military, provide soldiers with the required protected mobility, where they need MRAMs, APCs, infantry fighting vehicles, medical support, very crucial, proper housing unit, psychosocial support, and the entire support system. That's what they need. Much more effective and efficient.
All right. Again, Lagos, if you just joined, I'm having a fantastic conversation with Abdullahi Mutala, who is a journalist as well as a security analyst. Abdullahi, let's talk now about the men themselves. General Lucky Irabor is the new Chief of Defense Staff. He was at one point a commanding officer in Operation Lafia Dole. What were the highlights of his performance there?
So, Lucky Irabor is an interesting person in the sense that he's from the Signal Corps, and then he served as a deputy before serving as the theater commander, and then subsequently as the multinational joint forces commander, then heading to the defense headquarters and also the army headquarters, serving as the head of the training and doctrine section of the army. So he has extensive knowledge in terms of the counter-insurgency operation in the Northeast, and also in terms of military training and doctrine. So it's expected that he will bring forth his experiences to really shape and lead the military. Now, it is important that the CDS emulates or works in a far much more better condition than his predecessor, and champion and lead his colleagues, that's the other service chiefs, especially in the operations in the Northeast and in the Northwest. These are DHQ, Operation Hadarin Daji in the Northwest, the DHQ run operation. Operation Lafia Dole is a DHQ run operation. However, the military is playing a prominent role. In the North Central, you have Operation Wistroke, you have Operation Safe Haven. In the South Side, you have Operation Justice. So really, it's a time that the new CDS needs to lead and then provide the environment for better synergy and more collaboration between the two services.
A lot of the commentators are saying the CDS is more of a ceremonial and administrative role than a strategic role. Do you agree? Do you disagree?
I disagree. The armed forces, in terms of act that guides the service of the chiefs and military officers says differently. The major thing is the person itself, and also the commander-in-chief, because the CDS works based on the authority delegated on him by the commander-in-chief. And this is a problematic arrangement, but this is what we see in Nigeria, where people tend to have power based on how the CEC delegates power to them, and we can see the difference between the current NSA and the former NSA under Goodluck Jonathan. We can see the disparity in how powerful and visible the two were. But we hope that these are some of the institutional reforms that will happen, that we can have really the reform of the Armed Forces Act that gives the CDS its powers without relying on the CEC providing the leadership that shows that, gentlemen, your CDS is your chief, and he is responsible for directing and shaping how the military performs under my command. So we hope that there will be institutional reforms that will not require the CEC to provide such direction. The office of the CDS is not ceremonial. He commands and runs a lot of operations. He directs the military, and he also has a DHQ-led special operation force that is supposed to be a quick reaction force in the event of escalation of violence that can bring the appropriate kind of force that is required. So really, it's not a ceremonial position. However, it's an office that needs to be strengthened in terms of its institutional framework.
Okay. How about the new Chief of Army Staff, Major General Ibrahim Tahiru? He was also commander of Lafia Dole. In fact, he took over from Irabor in that role in May 2017. And 2 months later, in July 2017, he was removed. Why was his tenure there so short? And does that reflect on his ability to lead the army during the counterinsurgency?
Well, Operation Lakshadoli has had so many commanders. Irabo is the predecessor to Major General Atahi, who was one of the longest serving theater commanders. And after him, a lot of them did not last long because of how complicated the operation is there. And then a lot of times, theater commanders are removed because the COAS or the management system want to be improving or want to change tactics or just within military deployment. And so it's something that we have to wait and see how he brings his experience to bear in shaping the military. He has a huge work ahead of him. The military has to build public confidence, has to reshape its image in terms of human rights. There were lots of issues around human rights in the previous administration, and there needs also the improvement in the welfare of soldiers. There's a lot of issues around mental health, psychosocial support, accommodation, medical support for soldiers. And so there are a lot of things that he needs to work on, and he is going to be commanding the oldest and the largest branch of the military, so it's not going to be an easy task for him. The Air Force officer is a former pilot. He will be meeting a system that has been undergoing modernization, and so the objective for him is to improve the modernization and also improve synergy with the other services. And this is something that for him it is about improving and also building on what his predecessor has done. The Navy chief is what is really going to meet a lot of time because there's really been a spike in crime and criminality in the Gulf of Guinea and also Nigerian territorial waters. And so this is an issue that he will have to work really hard. But I hope that we can really see an improvement in the other system because we rely also in the Gulf of Guinea. The Navy is not supposed to be the only component of securing our territorial waters. Yes, the Navy will play a bigger role in the Gulf of Guinea, but in terms of our territorial waters, what is the marine police doing, or the custom marine component. So really, yes, we want the military to do excellently well, which is very important. But really, other services like the police, we need to reform and overhaul the police to be able to address some of the security challenges we have. We need to have a much more proactive domestic intelligence services that doesn't really concentrate more on within security, but that actually takes priority and is proactive in terms of population security.
This is an infomercial.
Spark up your creativity. Expand your knowledge of new words and build your vocabulary. Get a copy of the Book of 100 Rhymes by Truman Nolly. It contains 20 rhymes each for presentation, Christian, freestyle, love, and advisory segments. You can get a copy for 1,000 Naira from any of these locations. Blanco Supermarket, Ikate by Lekki Ekpe Expressway. Orbit Link Pharmacy and Supermart, number 13, Bode Thomas Street, Surulere. Edichart Supermarket, 54 Olorun Logbon Street, Anthony Village. Nigeria Info Office, 267 Etimian Crescent, Victoria Island, Lagos. And for the first stack Maza Axis, you can call 0902 057 5859.
More news and information coming up. We'll be back in a moment.
God doesn't find that. When they talk about find out that remedy, they learn from where we did. Because to find it easy for me. I wanted that is what we say easy way for me. Now linking my NIN to my glow line. Don't tell me play. I feel just first that pick up my phone. Go use the USSD code by dialing *109* my NIN hash. Or quickly, I go just text my NIN to 109. I feel also visit glowworld.com/NIN on top my super fast internet. If I come the area where we say Glow World near me, let's just walk enter. And if you don't forget your NIN, dial *346#. You don't get them back. Some people there, they call the ask question. We don't call register for NIN. Don't worry yourself. Just walk enter any nearest Glow World. Don't let them disconnect you from all the amazing voice and data offers where they inside Glow. Linking your NIN. They're safe and it's 100% free with zero wahala.
Glow, grandmasters of data.
Hey, Oga and Madam, you don't see the room now. Make I show you the toilet where you go to share with other neighbors.
Now the toilet
be this?
What's the apple?
Oga agent, you mean say na general toilets clean come white like this, eh?
Yes, now. See, what's in they use take cleaner and kill the yama germs come out.
Hypo toilet cleaner? Wow.
Wash your toilet at least once a week with Hypo Toilet Cleaner to keep it sparkling clean and germ-free. Available in sachet for 35 naira only. Madam, now 2 years landlord one collect.
We go pay for 6 years, eh?
I won't tell you the secret of better food. Na the no chicken and classic seasoning powder. The ingredient they take make am na natural by nature, like real chicken, rosemary, black and white pepper, garlic, onion, parsley, mushroom, coriander. If you knack no seasoning powder for inside your jollof, fried rice, egusi, and all other soup, you go know say flavor pass flavor. No seasoning powder. Natural by ingredients. Bangba by flavor.
It's a new day, a new beginning. As you prepare for the day ahead, just anything is not enough for a delightful, healthy start. Start your day right with Hollandia Eva. Taste, creamy vitamins and nutrients. Life is so different with you. Hollandia Eva.
Hollandia Eva milk. Right nutrients for a healthy breakfast.
Oh boy, I don't hammer.
Really? Just like that?
My people, that's how it be for Zibeto. Then they offer super mega odds with 250% accumulator bonus. Them get plenty market options where go tutorial you and increase your chance to win. Got one bonus at full ground though, including better virtual and casino games. As you they win, they go pay you instant. Make una follow person wey no road though. Sharply go register for www.zbet.ng. Make them summer you 100% welcome bonus up to 100,000 naira.
Zbet, we speak your game.
Hey, babe.
Hey, hon. How are you?
I've had a very hectic week and I'm looking to have some fun. Let's go out this weekend.
Where do you want to go?
I want to go to Upbeat Center.
What's that?
It's the first trampoline park in West Africa. They have trampolines, wall climbing, foam pit, dodgeball, video games, and sports such as football, basketball, and volleyball. And do you know the best part? They have a great waterside restaurant where we can eat and chill when we're done.
That sounds like fun. Let me call Peter and Omotaya so we can all go as a group.
I can't wait.
That's right. Get ready to up your fun with numerous physical and fun activities at Upbeat Center, located at number 11 Admiralty Road, Lekki Phase 1. For more information, visit upbeatcenter.com or call 0818 8844 991. Upbeat Center. Up your fun, up your life, up your fitness.
At ShopRite, you'll find everything you need and more. Buy a pack of 24 330 ml Maltina drinks at 3,299 naira 99 kobo and chicken twin packs at 1,599 naira per kilogram. Buy your recharge cards at any till point within the store. Check our website www.shoprite.com.ng for more deals. All prices valid till the 7th of February 2021. ShopRite, lower prices you can trust always.
I won't tell you the secret of better food. Na the no chicken and classic seasoning powder. The ingredient they take make am na natural by nature, like real chicken, rosemary, black and white pepper, garlic, onion, parsley, mushroom, coriander. If you knack no seasoning powder for inside your jollof, fried rice, egusi, and all other soup, you go know say flavor pass flavor. No seasoning powder. Natural by ingredients. Bangba by flavor.
Uncle Dentist, what are cavities? And how does Colgate protect my teeth from cavities? Does it use Kung Fu?
No, dear. Most tooth pains are caused by tooth holes called cavities. When you brush daily with Colgate Maximum Cavity Protection, its expert formula locks natural calcium in our teeth and helps protect them from cavities.
It's time to upgrade to the world's most chosen toothpaste, Colgate, because Colgate locks calcium in.
Keeps cavities out!
Colgate is recommended by the Nigerian Dental Association.
Oh, guy, what's in the make you scatter house like this,
I beg, you help me see my Airtel SIM.
I carry and give Shade yesterday, but you know they use him again now.
Yeah,
Hey, you don't carry my bonus give landlord picking. Now today you go pack out. On top Airtel SIM?
Yes, so if you don't reach 15 days where you never use your Airtel SIM, go find them now. Because why? Obonga will full on top of. Hey, get 2,000 naira airtime plus extra 200 MB for just 200 naira. The more you recharge, the more you are woofo. To begin enjoy this awoof, just dial *241*7#. Terms and conditions, Joe.
Airtel, the smartphone network.
You get to win money. You get to win 10,000 naira cash on the Just a Minute game show. Call into any of our shows: The Morning Crossfire, WhatsApp Lagos, The Sunny Side, and Hard Fact. Answer as many questions as possible in 60 seconds, and you stand a chance to win 10,000 naira. Winner will be announced on Hard Fact. Just a Minute, the game show for everyone, right here on your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Powered by Creditville.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
If you just tuned in, Lagos, you missed the first half of our conversation with Abdullahi Murtala, who is a journalist as well as a security analyst. He does most of his work doing exactly that. And he's been telling us quite a number of things. He's been providing a number of insights. And we have a few more questions to get through, and then we'll pivot to you on the phone lines.
The military has gotten quite the bad rap from organizations like Amnesty International, right? You have the armed forces complain repeatedly that they are not getting enough cooperation and intelligence from the civilians living in the conflict zones. And for me, especially when you take into consideration what Amnesty International and other people have alleged, have accused the military of, it raises the question about military-civilian relations. How do we rebuild and strengthen the trust of the people of the Northeast for government in general and the military in particular? How do we do that?
Well, I think this is something that for the problem with the military in terms of civilian military relationship, and it also extends to the police, dates back to the colonial approach and the purpose behind the establishment of these both the military and the police by the colonial government, and then also the role they have played in the military era. Yeah. So some of these mindsets and culture continue to exist now, and they have continued to lead to human rights violations and so on. So there needs to be really more efforts towards improving the methods of our different military branches, inculcating new ideas, new behaviors in officers and men. And this also has to start not just with reshaping the culture in the military, but also reshaping how officers and men are trained in the academy, because this is where they learn a lot of things. We may do a lot in terms of speaking, having discussions, creating new departments, new agencies, investing money to get the military to have better civilian rapport. Or if we do not fix the culture and also the training system, then the problem will continue to exist. And then secondly, sometimes some of the human rights violations that we see are also a product of failures within the system, because when you have soldiers coming under lots of enemy contact in an area, or they suffer casualty, then they will sometimes react in a manner that is disappropriate towards the civilian population in that area. So, but when we invest better in the military and that they're able to do their jobs better, they have better, behave better, have better culture, better civilian culture, then I think it's good for everyone. So it's really something that needs to be done, winning the hearts and minds, and winning the hearts and minds of locals in areas where military operations are happening, and then winning the hearts and minds of the general population, because the military needs the public trust and confidence to perform better.
Abdullahi, thank you so much for your time. Abdullahi Murtala is a journalist. He's also a security analyst, and he's been sharing his insights with us on the newly appointed service chiefs. Thank you so much for joining us on Hard Facts, and we do hope you come back.
Thank you very much, Sandra.
Lagos, before we move on, let me hear from you. Let me hear your thoughts. What do you think about Abdullahi Murtala's assessment of the new service chiefs? And what do they have to do for the counter-insurgency to succeed? 0700-993-993-993 0700 993-993-993. You can also tweet at us at Nigeria Info FM and definitely share your thoughts via WhatsApp. WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. What do you think about Murtala's assessment of the security situation, the new service chiefs, and what do you think they have to do for the counter-insurgency to succeed? 0700-993-993-993. WhatsApp, like I said, is 080-959-75805. I wonder how many of you disagree with Abdullahi, and I wonder how many of you actually agree with the things that Abdullahi has said on the show today. Our first call is Gordon's. Gordon's is in VI. Hello, Gordon's. Thank you for calling us.
Am I on with Sandra Ezekwesili?
Yes, you're talking to Sandra Ezekwesili. Welcome.
Good evening, ma'am.
Good evening. Turn your radio off, then go ahead.
The issue of chief of staff. There is nothing they can do.
Okay.
They have already followed by the former ones. So there is nothing they can do.
There's nothing they can do, Gordons says. All right, Gordons, thank you very much for calling. 99.3, hello. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, my dear sister.
Good afternoon, welcome. What's your name?
My name is Engineer Tega from Oloja Papa.
Go ahead, Tega, go ahead.
Yeah, you know, the present situation in Nigeria now is quite really more than perturbing. I don't know quite really where we're heading to. Anyway, let me make it very short, make others talk.
Okay.
You know, when you change this very particular police Oga Kwata, bring another one. Perhaps this one now will be more vicious than the former. They have lost our respect as trust. That's the point. I don't know whether I've stepped in pig dog trap, but then let me give others a chance. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much for calling. We've got Ade from Surulere who says, I'm so sorry. As a lawyer, I'm very embarrassed by the Attorney General and all the lawyers in government as per the quality of advice they're providing to the president. It's absolutely illegal to appoint and for the new service chiefs to assume positions before the confirmation of the Senate. The vice president, as a top SAN, should have advised them that is if they will listen to him. It seems the president prefers to listen to the worst attorney general in Nigerian history than the seasoned, experienced vice president. They can be nominated by the president, but they cannot take office technically before the confirmation from the Senate. It's not rocket science. It's only in Nigeria that we operate a series of illegalities with impunity. I'm also very disappointed with the new president of the NBA for keeping quiet at the blatant illegalities from the presidency. Only God will help us in Nigeria, Ade says. And he goes on to say the previous service chiefs should in reality be probed for failure to seriously defeat Boko Haram and other bandits and secure the nation. For they were failures, generally. The new ones chosen, what were their achievements in service so far? What are they bringing to the table to sincerely perform differently and effectively to ensure this nation is secured? Honestly, I have no faith in anything about this country. I got a message, I got that message from Ade, who is a lawyer in Surulere. Hello, Chris from Abara. Welcome. Chris, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, I can hear your chickens.
Okay, I'm saying that. yes, I have chicken here. I'm in agriculture. I even have goats here.
Oh, that's nice. I can hear them in the background.
Yes.
Welcome.
What I'm trying to say is that there's nothing these people can do since there's no, unless there is political will. And as far as I'm concerned, there is no political will to end insecurity in this country.
Okay.
If there is, we will give them specific instruction, give them targets. From today, 3 months, I want this thing this thing done, just the way we are doing the bank in those days. And we see results. But this one, they are just there, marooned. So, are they going to provide weapons for themselves? No. Are they going to provide train this thing for themselves? No. Are they going to get more weapons, all these AK-47 than the Boko Haram? No. If the whole country cannot be able to provide airplane and all the rest of them to just dismantle Boko Haram, these people are just coming there to just begin to eat rice. But I pity all those small boys like us who are fighting barehanded, just like sending this.
Chris, are you there? Oh no, I was enjoying Chris's chickens. But thank you for calling us, Chris. We appreciate it. The number to call is 0700-993-993. A message on WhatsApp simply says, Sandra, they have to work and remove politics. Okay? We've got more messages coming in via social media, but we have a call lined up. So let's talk to that caller and then come back to taking your messages on WhatsApp. Don't forget that WhatsApp is 080-959-75805. 080-959-75805. That's our WhatsApp number. All right, so let's take a look at the tweets we have here while we have that call being scheduled. We've got a tweet that says, I think it's too soon. This is a tweet from Oyin. Oyin says, I think it's too soon to start passing judgment on these newly appointed service chiefs. Yes, there are issues surrounding their appointment. There are legal explanations that the Attorney General will need to wade in on. But I think we should give them a chance. Oyin, thank you very much for your tweet. James in Bagada, welcome.
Sandra, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, what a very interesting subject to discuss, and it's very, very important that you picked it up. Yeah, you see, sincerely speaking, all the contributors have already said it, that it's difficult for them to succeed because it depends on who they are paying allegiance to. And the problem I want to state is, maybe many Nigerians don't know, when it comes to the swearing in out of office of any political position in Nigeria, many people don't understand that. In that swearing out of office, they are paying allegiance, they are claiming, the political office holder is paying allegiance to two entities, the Constitution, and then you hear them saying that they've also pledged to defend the law. I don't know whether you've noticed this.
Okay.
So that law is what they are really paying allegiance to, not to the Constitution, because it's not binding on them to pay allegiance to the Constitution.
Okay.
And that law that they always mention is a esoteric law. Let me tell you the truth. It's not. And that esoteric law is not for the good of Nigerians. So Jonathan, that's why they said we have to have laws that are binding on our political office holders when they come in, for them that will empower them to work for Nigeria. So when other people are saying that it cannot work, truly that is it. The problem is in the oath of office. When they take that oath of office, it is more binding on them to carry out the orders of the law.
Right.
I don't know whether you are following.
I'm following you. Yeah, you're making some points.
Is where the problem is. The these service chiefs are all paying allegiance to that law, that esoteric laws, which is secret. Everything is secrecy. They will never tell you, and it is only what that law commands them to do that they will do. So let me just drop it here. Thank you very much.
James, thank you very much for calling. What I do know, though, is if the law contradicts the Constitution, the Supreme Court rules in favor of the Constitution. But you are entitled to your opinion at the end of the day. We've got a special report from the newsroom, by the way, sharing with you profiles of these newly appointed service chiefs. I think you should listen to it. It's really, really good.
For almost every region of the country, the calls had grown louder on a daily basis. Many wanted President Muhammadu Buhari to relieve his service chiefs of their duties. This came as issues such as kidnapping, terrorism, and banditry attacks heightened across the country. On Tuesday, January 26th, President Muhammadu Buhari finally bowed to pressure. He announced he had accepted the resignations of batons from General Abayomi Olonisaki, Major General Tukur Buratai, Vice Admiral Ibok Ekwe Ibas, and Air Marshal Sadiq Abubakar. Presidential media aide Femi Adesina explains why President Buhari accepted their removal.
And he just felt it was time to rejig the system. Have fresh energy, have fresh blood, have fresh ideas. But it should be on record that he commended them for their services to the country. It's a matter of doing what he feels is right at a given time. You know, a number of times the president has said the service chiefs could do better. Some other times he has said, yes, they were doing their level best, but they could do better. The fact that they had to leave today does not mean that they had failed.
In their place, the president announced Major General Lucky Irabor as Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Ibrahim Atahiru as the new Chief of Army Staff, Vice Marshal Isiaka Amao as the Chief of Air Staff, and Rear Admiral Awal Zubeiru Gambo as the Chief of Naval Staff. The new Chief of Defense Staff, Major General Lucky Irabor, was born on October 5th, 1965. He hails from Ika South in Delta State. He is a member of Regular Course 34 of the Nigerian Defense Academy. He served as the Theatre Commander, Operation Lafia Dole, and headed the Multinational Joint Task Force as Field Commander. The trained engineer also served as Chief of Staff to the Chief of Army Staff. The new Chief of Army Staff, Major General Ibrahim Atahiru, was born on August 10, 1966. He is from Kaduna State and a member of the Regular Course 35 of the Nigerian Defense Academy. Major General Atahiru, until his appointment as a Chief of Army Staff, was the General Officer commanding 82 Division, Nigerian Army. He was appointed to lead the offensive against Boko Haram in the northeast in May 2017. His predecessor, Lieutenant General Buratai, relieved him of his duty in December 2017, allegedly not being competent enough to lead the war against Boko Haram. 4 years later, Major General Ibrahim Atahiru is the man to lead the onslaught against Boko Haram. Vice Marshal Isiaka Amao was born on the 14th of September 1965 in Enugu. He is from Oshogbo in Osun State. Amao listed into the Nigerian Air Force on January 19, 1984 as a member of the 35 Regular Course of the Nigerian Defense Academy. Until his appointment as a Chief of Air Staff, Amao was the Commandant, Armed Forces Resettlement Center in Lagos. The new Chief of Naval Staff, Rear Admiral Awal Zubeiru Gambo, was born on the 22nd of April 1966. He is from Nasarawa local government area in Kano State. He enlisted into the Nigerian Navy on the 24th September 1984 as a member of Regular Course 36 and was commissioned sub-lieutenant on 24th September 1986. He is an underwater welfare specialist with a sub-specialization in intelligence. Reacting to the new appointment, security expert Kabir Adamu applauded President Buhari's changes. He also spoke highly of some of the new chiefs.
We can also talk about the personalities involved. Who are they? Now, I'll pick on at least two of them. Major General Lucky Irabor is one of them. He's well respected. He has grown through the ranks, has been appointed to head different leadership positions. Now for Major General Atahiru, well respected, someone who commands the respect of his troops and has a pedigree that is enviable, actually. So in that regard, we expect professionalism from this crop of new service.
Already, some Nigerians expect changes in the security structure of the country. We spoke to a cross-section of people.
Going to bring
morale boosting for the entire military. For former leadership to have spent over 5 years and nothing seems to change for the better, it means they totally ran out of ideas.
Nothing is going to change.
Looking at new proactive steps towards exterminating issues of insecurity in Nigeria, I think the people currently appointed have vast experience to end issues of insecurity and all sorts of threats.
And that's our special report. We've got messages on WhatsApp. This person in Ikorodu says, Dominic in Ikorodu says, I don't think these service chiefs can do more than the past ones. Reason that politics has eaten deep into the system. They're just there for recognition. After their stay, they'll be appointed ambassadors just like the recent one. Well, yes, thank you for bringing that to my attention. Breaking news telling us that the president has sent his previous service chiefs, forwarded the names of the immediate past service chiefs to the Senate as non-career ambassadors designate. That's the news just reaching us at the moment. Of course, we're going to take a look at that story. With a thing like that, they could get diplomatic immunity from the ICC, with a move like this. But we'll keep our eye on it and see what happens. We've got messages coming in on WhatsApp. Sandra, it won't be possible for these guys to deliver simply because there's so much politics involved here. If they attached and have a big casualty from one part of the country, the people of that region will revolt, which is a big challenge for them. Ify Frank says. Ify, thank you for your message. More messages on WhatsApp. Sandra, my name is Daniel from Oworoshonki. Why didn't you talk about the arrest of a police officer by Hisba in Kano for buying beer? Well, that's not one of the stories we treated today, but thank you for bringing it to our attention. We've got 1 more minute to take one final call, and then we'll play Just a Minute. Hello, thanks for calling. Hello? I think that person who just called was calling to play Just a Minute. 99.3. Nobody wants to be the last call before Just a Minute. So here's what we'll do. I'll go back to WhatsApp then and take a look at the messages there because we have a lot of messages. This one says, Sandra, they need a free hand to operate. All right. Thank you for sending your message in, but you didn't put your name though. We've got Luga exclusive from NMPC filling station in Majek who says, what different training have the new appointed chiefs received that is different from their successors? Absolutely none. There's need for Nigerian army to take advantage of high use of technology to combat Boko Haram than just sending those poor guys into that forest to fight bandits.
Do you need to meet up your goals for the year? Then here's the good news. Goals are easily achieved by choosing Creditsville as a reliable credit assistance. Creditsville is accessible and reliable at all times. With Creditsville, interest rates are affordable, repayment plan is flexible, disbursement is processed within 24 hours. These and many more are the reasons why you should choose Creditsville as your accessible and reliable financial partner. For more information, log on to www.creditville.ng. You can also send us an email via info@creditville.ng, and you can give us a call on 080-5510-0010. Creditsville. Loans, investment, leasing.
Okay, so the highest score today is 5. I'm wondering who is going to score higher than 5 on Just a Minute today. If you'd like that person to be you, please call the numbers 0700-993-993. When you call, if you win, stay on the line, okay? Don't hang up. Stay on the line so that we can get your details. And we'll have a way to contact you. Send us your name. Stay on the line. Tell us your name, your account number, all of that. And then we'll give you your 10,000 naira. But if you still like to talk about the service chiefs or any other thing we talked about on today's Big 3 or on Eyewitness, you can wait and call us after the news at 6. It's coming up. The news is coming up at 6. After that news at 6, call us and talk about any of the subjects we talked about today on the show that you couldn't get in and talk about. 99.3, hello. What's your name?
My name is Michael.
Michael, can you come closer to the phone? We're struggling to hear you.
Okay, my name is Michael Okechukwu.
Michael Okechukwu, welcome. Stay on the line when you win, okay?
Okay.
All right, question number 1. The World Health Organization says COVID-19 is increasing mortality for people with what disease?
People with cancer.
That's correct. The court awarded how much money to a woman assaulted by police?
5 million.
A widow and a royal family in Idimu are in a dispute over what?
Land grabbing.
Who is the longest serving chief of army staff in Nigeria's history?
Buratai.
Who is the only other chief of staff, of army staff, who has ever served for 5 years? Skip. What body is responsible for confirming the president's appointment of service chiefs?
The Nigerian Senate.
Who is the new chief of defense staff?
Major General Lucky Irabo.
How many service chiefs does Nigeria have at any time?
4. Sorry?
How many service chiefs does Nigeria have at any time?
4.
4 is correct. Congratulations, my friend. You are our winner for today. Hey! Hey! Hey!
This morning I've been following you, doing everything. Like, I've been calling you since 5 o'clock. I've not stopped. You understand?
Well, persistence pays, eh? Congratulations. Stay on the line. Don't hang up. Stay on the line so that we can get your details, eh? Congratulations. Well done. Very proud of you. Very proud of everybody who calls since morning trying to win. Tomorrow is another day, so call the Morning Crossfire. Call Sunnyside with Joyce. Call What's Up Lagos with Collins. And call Hard Fat with Sandra Ezekwesili. Take care. Stay here, Lagos. Don't go away. I'll be back tomorrow to talk to you about the biggest stories from around the world. And I'll be back as well on Monday, if you don't catch me tomorrow. But hey, before all of that, I'm on social media as Sandra Ezekwesili. Ezekwesili on Twitter, Sandra Ezekwesili on Facebook, and Ezekwesili on Instagram. Those were your hard facts, Lagos. Have yourself a very good evening.
Hard Facts with Sandra Ezekwesili is available as a podcast on all streaming platforms. Catch this and previous episodes anytime you want to.
Hello, my name is Abdul. My friends ask me how I stay updated with current happenings around me despite my busy work.